it's just the fact that they just got lazy, and like Smud said, there's no one really there anymore to do anything.
Yeah,
well, the janitor maybe.
And
All right.
and the thing is I expected with a second part in any game that I get
Whisp.
what the game before had, just better.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, let's get going. Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Smudcast number 449. This is Netflix Bebop. I say Netflix.
Netflix? What the hell?
Next flop. The next
More
flop
like
from Netflix, yeah.
Set a new Kellogg's variant.
Oh, delicious. Yeah. This is Netflix Bebop, a postmortem of on a failure, which seems to be the general consensus, even from people who are usually the ones who say this is going to be great. Even the critics hated this thing. So everyone pretty much said this was a horrible pile of crap. I haven't watched it yet to give my opinion. Some of the memes and some of the clips that people have showed me made me very sad. So I might not even watch it. I don't know. Anyway, this is done by BennettTheSage. Came out last month, of course, because the anime just came out, or the live action just came out. Has about 60,000 views, and this is a 22-minute long video, so it will take us some time to go through.
Unless he says some really good stuff, at which point we can just let this whole thing fly by.
It might just happen.
Probably not.
Probably not. I don't know. These guys, I watched a few minutes. He might have a very similar opinion to the rest of everyone else, which is nice.
Well, he might be one of those people who say it had potential, though.
Oh, yeah, if only they did these 200 different things. It's like...
I saw it. He has a segment called Positive, so that's all I do.
All right.
You mean it had potential if they had done it accurately?
I mean, it ended. That's
I agree,
positive.
because I still think that a live-action Cowboy Bebop could work. I mean,
sure.
Most of its inspirations are live-action movies, so I don't
no one
feel like
disputes that.
Yeah.
No one disputes that it can't be done.
I've seen tons of people say it can't be.
It's hard. It'll be very difficult.
Why make a live action? We already have the anime.
Think of like doing an anime version of Star Wars. Like Star Wars is already good enough, the original, 4, 5, and 6. And turning that into an anime can work, but you're going to be reducing it to another form. And, from live action to anything else is always going to be a reduction. So
I mean, imagine you have...
I wouldn't say it's a reduction, it's just a different appeal.
When you have, let's say, 100% or 100 units of live action, like episode 4, you're not going to get the same resolution. You're not going to get the same pacing. You're not going to get the same music. You might get even a certain style of art that's not quite anime because it's going to be Americanized or whatever. So it's going to be like an American animation. And you're going to lose a lot of the charm that made the original gritty, detailed, dirty landscape of the live action. And you're going to get another version of that, but it will never have the same quality. And that's because when you go to live action, the level of detail has to be way higher. So you're going to drop that level of detail just to appease the medium, which is 2D classical animation, I assume, unless you're doing 3D, and that's a whole other ballgame. And we've seen 3D with Star Wars, and there is a stylistic change you have to make it look appealing. And even that stylistic change is not as appealing, I would say, as the live action depictions.
Here's a question. Can you imagine the first Matrix movie as an anime?
Ooh.
Just exactly that.
Maybe.
Could you imagine an anime that was the Matrix instead of the movie we have, and it being adapted into that? Would you? I think it's a very hypothetical thing. Would you take that as an okay adaptation?
Think about it, because the Matrix did a lot of interesting camera and technical work that was never done before. So already
it's irrelevant.
Well, no. You're trying to translate.
That just means no. That just means they took effort.
No. They're doing new things, and as soon as you do something new in a medium like jazz or something, I've never heard this music before, and to convert it to something else is very difficult, as opposed to, here's a great camera angle. We've seen this.
Yeah, but it's not just about that bullet dodge scene. It's about camera work, the scene set up, how characters are standing, the way they're dressed, the way you get these the empty room where the guns flow in, all of these elements, they all translate very well into, I can imagine this being an anime. And an anime like that could be translated into that style. So if you had the quality of care that the Matrix movie had, the first one, you could do a Bebop adaptation quite well.
All right, but we're comparing very visual, a very stylistic live action thing, which The Matrix is. It's very visual, had lots of action scenes, lots of special effects that are already easily translatable, aside from some technical things that I think are rather difficult for a 3D person. And comparing that to what Bebop is. And people think Bebop's amazing. It is pretty good. It's not super cool, awesome, but it's cool. It is cool. I will give it that. There's something about it which makes you want to pay attention, and I think that's because of the music. And the music pushes you along.
The music alone doesn't hold it up.
That's right. But what
the Netflix adaptation screwed up, aside from casting, is set dressing, is costumes, is acting, is writing, is camera work. Basically everything. The visual. When I make the comparison to Matrix, it's about how to get the visuals done right. If you can do the visuals right for this sci-fi piece, then you only need to worry about getting the writing and acting right.
Well, the reason why
the writing is basically already done, because we have the original. Well, and we only need to worry about the acting.
Well, if we look
casting and acting,
if we look at the Animatrix, I think it's a great example because that's kind of what you're getting at. Is that can you depict the Matrix from an animation perspective or visually? And there's plenty of examples in the Animatrix where a certain, like even Watanabe did an Animatrix called The Detective, I think, or Detective Story. And that looks like, this is actually, you can just take that and just imagine he did the Matrix and with the exact same storyboards and just animate it, and it would look totally fine. So that could work. With Bebop, there's more than just the sound. There's more than just the music and the pacing. There's a certain randomness that I don't think can translate well, and I don't think that is the easiest thing to do unless you are Watanabe and you say, "Okay, I know."
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure what you mean.
I mean, Cowboy Bebop is basically the setting of Star Wars with like the tone of Pulp Fiction, I would say.
A little bit. What you need is good. To pull this very subtle element of getting the characters working, the atmosphere right, is you need.
I would say that is what pulls people into Bebop. It's the subtleties. There's a lot of subtle stuff in it.
Yes, and for that you need actors that know, that are amazing at acting with and conveying anything without words. It needs to be all in facial expressions.
It needs
to be in body. It's in how they hold themselves. Subtle movements. It needs to be
a very understated but effective performance.
Well,
how can that be? What do you say? Understated? This is the most important part about acting on screen.
Well, it's all within the context of the episode because, as I said, it's kind of random, and every episode is funny or serious or dark or brooding. There's something within that context, and in what I saw from the clips, it looks like everything's goofy, everything's funny, everything's fun, and there's no. There might be an interlude where it's serious, but then it just jumps back to funny within the same episode, and that's not Bebop.
Yeah, but that's an SJW problem because they are tone deaf.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, the tone is all over the place in the show.
Yes, they're tone deaf, and they're always almost fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, that's not good.
And that's what breaks it. They're not taking the material they're working with seriously.
Okay.
It's basically
Every
Thundercat.
SJW filmmaker wants to make the next Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh my God.
That's a good way to put it. I wanted to say, like, it's basically
Like,
what
all of them are fans of that movie too.
Can I finish the sentence?
I'll let you finish. Sorry.
It's basically watching the Thundercats bullshit version that they made.
Why?
They want to turn everything into that, or rather, that's the only thing they can really do.
Okay.
Really bad Always Sunny, basically.
Well, anyway, let's get on with the video. If you guys haven't been noticed, the person on screen was a writer for Cowboy Bebop, the anime, and she passed away last month. So I don't know how she contributed exactly, because it's kind of a mystery of how Bebop was written and created.
I think she wrote the screenplay.
Oh, really? For the movie?
Yeah.
No, for the episodes.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
She's the main writer.
Bebop and Wolf's Rain are her most noteworthy things, I think.
Interesting. Wolf's Rain's very interesting.
I only saw the anime. It was interesting at first, and then the ending got strange.
It is strange. Yeah, it's kind of magical, mystical, weird techno story. And like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and I don't know how old she is here, but if she looked like that with in her late 50s, close to 60, man, she looks barely over 40.
I mean, I've seen plenty of Asian people look pretty much like this when they're 50, 60.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I made the joke before that there's this weird genetic power that Asian women have. It's like they're eternally...
Not just the women.
Yeah, they're eternally
men have it
35, 40.
Just look at Araki. He's about the same age as her, I think.
And then
he still looks like he's 20.
And then they get to like 94, and then they just become ancient. It's like, what happened?
They go into their cocoon for a week, and then they come out like the hunched over wise old man with the super long white beard and walking on a stick.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, let's get going. 22 minutes. Let's see how this goes.
So, new location, new show on Netflix?
Sounds to me like blackmail.
You're damn right it is, because, Jet, you are black and you are male.
Same old crap. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's finally arrived. After years of speculative rumor milling, rest in peace Keanu and Benedict Spiegel, as well as stutter-step production woes and reshoots, the live-action adaptation of Cowboy Bebop has finally been foisted upon the internet. And the reaction has been a potent cocktail of... and...
Yeah.
And I think it's safe to assume that nearly everyone saw this coming. With the announcement of who was cast as who, and with every teaser, poster, and trailer released, it became increasingly clear that Netflix Bebop was going to rub more than a few die-hard fans the wrong way. Of course, the show wouldn't be alone in this, as we live in a post-Dragon Ball Evolution, post-Netflix Death Note world. And as such, we've all been conditioned to expect the worst when it comes to live-action adaptations of anime. But what we couldn't have expected, or predicted, was that Netflix Bebop would be a kind of harbinger of things to come. After the news of its production spread, Netflix would announce that it procured the rights to make a One Piece show.
Oh, God.
And shortly before it made its November 19th debut, Netflix would announce a Yu Yu Hakusho adaptation.
Oh, God.
Of course, there's also the live-action Gundam films still in production.
Oh, God.
Whether we want it or not, Netflix is preparing an all-out assault on our TVs, but why? Why are they putting so many eggs in the anime basket, as it were? And why do they almost always suck? And most importantly...
The first one is easy. They want to ride on the term because it sells. It's the same reason why they get things like Star Wars, because they know people know this term and they like it. That's why it will sell, even if we just put shit into the can.
Yeah, because we see in the comic industry that manga is starting to outsell comics, so
the entire
everyone's
industry
thinking,
by
we gotta
one.
go to Japan. We gotta bring up these Japanese properties. That's where the money is.
Mm-hmm.
No offense, the Japanese mangas are absolutely murdering comics.
Yeah.
I mean, it's honestly, it's like a toddler are fighting.
Most like Western like comic sales are coming from manga because like they count that comics are pretty well as a business, but no, they're just like adding up like the sales from manga as well.
Yeah, and Demon Slayer, a closed series, has outsold the entire. This one manga has outsold the entire U.S. comic industry.
If you want to read Demon Slayer on the free websites, it's in the hundreds of millions of views. It's huge,
and still, it's sold like crack.
Yeah, well, because let's be honest with you. You look at what manga's got. It's got so many different things in it. If you look at what the American comic book industry is, if a comic book's not of faggots, lesbians, strong female women who are absolute psychopaths, they don't sell anything else. That's it.
Superman being fucked in the ass.
Yeah, everyone's gay. It's always a woman who saves the day. That woman is always a psychopathic, crazed bitch who, in any other story would be a villain. All men are bastards. Everything's left wing, SJW. It's all the same shit.
And there's never anything new anymore.
Yeah,
back in the day, you once in a while got something new out of US comics. Now that doesn't happen. Yeah, Sandman was a new thing. It was great. Lucifer was a new thing. Transmetropolitan was a new thing. Those were great series. But you don't. I don't see that. I don't see that popping up anymore. It's at least not advertised.
And
the thing is,
also, a lot of these newer properties, all the storytelling is becoming the same.
Yeah, it's boring as fuck. No offense, you can only read propaganda for so long before it becomes boring.
Well, this is kind of like when people do marketing for like websites, like I do marketing. It's like, okay, your competitors are doing X. Do you want to do all of that? Now, if you're Netflix, you are the big top dog, and you're looking at the world of media, and you're going, hey, we haven't done this area of the subgenre of this medium called anime. What should we do? Get the most popular one and say, hey, let's buy the rights to it. We have the money. Why not?
Well, let's put it this way. They did Cowboy Bebop, right? What we're watching. They still went down the SJW fucking route with it.
Yeah,
because they give it to they give it so they pump all these tons of money, these millions into these productions. Even hire maybe a noteworthy actor here or there, but they take absolute no-name writers with absolutely no skill and put them on brands, on franchises that you would expect to have the best of the best working on. Like imagine you get, we are gonna make this multi-million-dollar Shakespeare thing about Macbeth, and we're gonna hire this 23-year-old diversity activist.
We're gonna
to write it.
Off of Craigslist.
Well, apparently they did do a Macbeth movie last month.
Oh God!
Did they?
The Tragedy of Macbeth.
All right. If it's something like this, let me guess. Lady Macbeth gets the most screen time, is actually the main character, and she succeeds in all her goals, unlike what happens in the actual play.
It's not on
That'll
Netflix.
be what happens. No, but you know what I mean?
It might have a chance.
But it's like, I've been watching stuff, and I'll be honest with you. You know the best way to surprise me? Not making the female lead, fucking amazing. Her actually having to struggle and work hard for stuff.
You mean making the female support character the lead?
Yeah.
And then everything you said.
Yeah. That's
what all this is.
Because it's the same stories over and over again. It's like I'll be brutally honest with you. I watched that. What is it? Red Notice. With The Rock and Ryan Reynolds.
What, The Rock and Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, they made a film called, was it Red Notice? Was it? Someone back me up here. I'm sure it's called that. It has what's her name? Who's Wonder Woman?
Red Notice, you got it.
Yeah, Red Notice. Right, I was watching that, and I'm going to spoil the movie for you because fuck it, no one really else is going to watch it, right? But like the Rock fights, was it Gal Gadot? Is it? That's who plays Wonder Woman, isn't it? Yeah, it fights her, and like she wins, and I'm a bit like, oh my god, they're making it like a Mary Sue sort of thing, blah blah blah. But it turns out that it's because the Rock and her are actually lovers and they're only fake fighting each other.
Oh.
I went, oh, that's actually a nice little twist. It's like, that would explain why he gets beaten by her and she can stand her own against him. It's not that she's awesome amazing, it's the fact that they're not really properly fighting each other.
Cool.
Yeah, and it also explains why she can like steal certain things because they're like art thieves and everything. It's because he's allowing her because he's pretended to be like a cop chasing after her, and it's like, oh, how's she getting away and all this sort of stuff. It's like, well, he's like not putting effort in, and I was like, oh, that's actually an interesting thing. We didn't make this character this super awesome, amazing person with no flaws. It's like, the reason why she's able to do half the stuff is because they're double-crossing the law enforcement. And,
that's good. That's how that can work.
And it really surprised me, and it actually made me go, oh, I actually like this movie a bit more than I would have done.
Yeah, and when you have a setup like that, or then it works. Or the alternative is when 7 of 9 beat The Rock, because she's massively cybernetically enhanced.
Yeah, just honestly, if you want to make a good movie about a strong female character, just make her beat up The Rock.
And you just get Wolf?
No, but no, you can't. He's black. That'd be racist. But The Rock is Hawaiian.
Didn't Jetsia beat up Wolf?
Yeah, but she's hundreds of years old, so she has some knowledge that he might not have. I guess.
Ageism. That's what we're going.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was one of those things where it's like they do different things. But no, 90% of it is the exact same story beat over and over and over again.
Yeah. There's actually there is not. So we are basically switching away from the monomyth to woman strong.
Woman strong.
Yeah.
That's it.
To a female narcissistic power fantasy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Well, yeah. Also, who's this guy called again? Because I'm pretty sure he used to be part of the Channel Awesome blog.
He is. He used to be one of the goons of the Nostalgia Critic.
He looked familiar.
BennettTheSage?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
BennettTheSage,
was he called something different ages ago?
No, he was Sage even back then.
Oh, right. Because I saw him and I thought,
he had one cameo with the Nostalgia Critic.
Okay. And I think he was in those terrible movies
Yes.
Nostalgia Critic made.
Oh,
Yes, I remember that.
Don't even mention that.
Where people may or may not have been sexually abused, but we haven't got the right amount of information yet.
At this point, I'm willing to side with Nostalgia Critic. Like, those people are worse than him. It's just amazing.
I heard all the bad stories about it. Now seeing all of it, I'm like, was it really Doug's fault?
No.
Yeah, I don't think it was Doug's fault.
Doug's pretty weird, but he's not that.
Yeah, it's like Doug's a man-child. I'll give him that. He's pretty rubbish.
Not as much as all those other
but not as much as all the other people. It's like when people say, "Oh, he did stuff to Lindsay Ellis." I'm like, "Have you seen Lindsay Ellis? She's a crazy bitch." So, hey ho.
Right.
Yeah.
If anything, Doug was just negligent, and probably.
Yeah. And
Doug is a seven-year-old boy in a 40-year-old man's body. That's it. So,
on this topic of they're just trying to exploit the term anime. Joshua Taylor in the chat wrote, "Have you heard of the Scott Pilgrim anime is coming?" And that is not an anime. That is a bean-mouth cartoon with CalArts Tombstone teeth. That is a cartoon. This is what Netflix is doing. That's what it did with Castlevania. That's what it's doing with this Greek gods thing, and what they're doing with other stuff that they're producing themselves, or what Crunchyroll did with this High Guardian Spice crap. Is they make cartoons that they then call anime or original Netflix anime, but it's just cartoons. They slam the word anime on it because they think anime is a popular term. People like anime. We'll just call every animated thing we make now anime. That's not anime. It's cartoons.
Though, to be honest with you, I don't care what Netflix does with Scott Pilgrim because Scott Pilgrim's a terrible fucking IP.
Yes, that is
it's
true.
Useless. So I don't really care if Netflix can't ruin something that's already ruined.
Yeah, and when I first watched that, when it came out, I was dazzled by the visuals too. But the entire movie, I thought, why is he into this girl? She's horrible.
Also, he's horrible as well. Everyone's horrible. I'm like, I don't care about anything in this movie. Thank you for making me not care about anybody at all. I do that in my daily life anyway.
All right. Anyway, let's keep going.
With all of these adaptations looming on the horizon, what does this mean for all of us who grew up watching these anime? Well, to answer all of these questions, we first have to deal with what's on our plate in front of us. This is... This
Yay!
was Netflix Bebop.
Yay!
Whoa.
Oh, God.
What the?
Yeah, I was going to say, that's really
That
loud.
came out of nowhere.
Also,
Loud.
but also, you can definitely tell he was part of Channel Also, can't you?
Yeah, okay.
Same sound effects, same stuff. But he's going down the right route with stuff. But
He hasn't mentioned politics yet. Yeah,
They can't all be crazy.
Same kind of style as Doug too, where he just talks into a face cam for most of his video.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's alright.
Is he gonna go skits?
Yeah, skits. Are there any fucking skits? Jesus Christ.
But like a token black character to talk with.
A token black character called Satan. I don't know.
Yes, he did.
All right.
But I'm definitely going to turn this down because this is loud.
Okay.
He's running away from Channel Awesome.
This episode of Anime Abandoned is brought to you by Boxu. Holidays are here.
Boxu?
Boxu wants you to know that traditional, tasty, and unique treats sent straight from Japan right to your doorstep every month is the perfect gift to give the otaku in your life.
Dried candy.
A menu of treats, no 2 months will be alike, making for a gift.
All your family would turn Asian and just stare at these random boxes. Get a bukkake. Get a bukkake today.
Sometimes it's good.
Bukkake.
Yeah, sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's absolute crap. So
have surprise mochi with flavors you would never guess, dream of, have nightmares about putting into that stuff.
Also,
Japan has a weird thing with flavors.
Yeah.
Well, at least they're trying out stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, but hey, the America should not complain about that. You make garlic ice cream.
I have literally never heard of that.
I don't see a problem with this
Garlic
statement.
and bacon and all of that stuff.
I love bacon. What are you talking about?
Bacon ice cream.
cream.
Bacon ice
Spray
cream.
on cheese. That's it. America's like America created spray on cheese. I'm like,
All right. Here's Roan Hirushin. Thank you for the 5. What's one of our other resident otaku fellows? Hey, how's it going? Weeb Day recommendations. Spare yourself Castlevania and just watch Demon Slayer. It's a much better use of your time, especially with the entertainment arc currently airing on your local Hulus. That is all. Thank you, Roan Hirushin.
It's also so much better animated. It is so much better written. It is so much better animated. It isn't hard, really. My God.
Demon Slayer?
Demon Slayer is very
is it?
Castlevania's animation is like, I want to
of
punch
course.
someone.
And then take the pencil.
What did you say?
And then take the pencil and draw on the frames. Give me that.
it was a joke, Whisp. Don't worry.
The death scene was animated on 5s.
Oh no.
With giant waving hair. It's like it's like I'm watching a dying computer trying to animate, trying to play a video. Like what is
Whisp
going
can
on?
only see in 2 frames.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Gift that keeps on giving all year round. But since this is a special time of the year, Boxu is preparing a special
Oh my God, what's your
giveaway.
hat?
Free tickets to Japan. That's right.
I thought he was wearing the hat to hide
Receive a
his
tickets to
bald.
Japan.
He
Just
didn't
have a
get
subscription
bald.
to Boxu.
Yeah,
Wow.
you know what? Going to Japan is actually not a bad idea. They have very low COVID rates, and they're doing very well. So
They have recently reverted all the vaccine mandates.
yeah, I know. They're great.
Also, they don't like fat people, so
Yeah, that's based.
Unless you're a sumo wrestler, then it's okay.
That's
unless you're
awesome.
fighting, they don't want fat
Yeah.
people.
Also, I've heard living there is pretty cheap as well.
Yeah.
Compared to what?
Yep. Compared to the extortionate prices of New York.
Yeah.
Oh my God! A house for like $10
you will
million.
be entered to win the giveaway. So if you want delicious Japanese treats sent every month to your door and a chance to win a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Japan, then use my code and link in the description box to get your subscription. My code will even get you 10% off your subscription, so what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Subscribe today before December 31st, 2021, and
Disgusting.
enter for your
What
chance
is
to win.
tea?
Thank you to Boxu for being a continued supporter of the show.
Genmaicha is green tea with a little puff rice. I know the island monkey doesn't know anything about tea. I am not surprised.
No, it's not that. It's just the pause screen.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's a pretty unfortunate pause.
Does anyone actually want rice in their tea? Is that a thing?
There are people who like that, but I know very, very few people here in Germany who like that, and usually they're weird people.
No.
Yeah.
I know,
yeah, I would
I know
like
people who like stuff floating in their drink.
No, it gives it a special. It gives it a very, very different taste. Like it's basically to aromatize your tea.
Oh,
To
really?
put another flavor in your tea. That's what the puff rice is there for.
All right. Well,
And I don't like it because it I don't know.
I'd
how do I describe that?
I'd rather have good tea than stuff in my tea.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Usually, when you have things like that added to your green tea, that means the tea itself is shit, and they add stuff so that they can still sell it.
If you want good green tea, it's called osmanthus tea or osmanthus green tea. That is all the flavor you
Is
need.
that the company?
No, it's a type of tea.
Is it, what? Osmanthus?
Osmanthus, yeah. It's a certain flower.
Osmanthus.
Oh, there's typing. There's typing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, let's call it Whisp.
Wisp is going to buy some tea now.
No.
Yeah.
I want this tea,
No,
Sven.
actually,
You mentioned
Okay,
tea.
no,
I like
it's
tea.
just
So it's a herb. That makes it an infusion, not tea. Tea comes from the tea plant. Thea
Did you?
You
wait,
can have-
wait,
Thea
hold on.
sinensis.
You can
Thea,
have
it's in the name.
tisans are
Oh my
teas,
God.
whether it's a leaf or whether it's a petal. It's the same idea. It's fine.
Wisp, did
Not-
you
it's
really
not about
just
it being a-
look up? Wisp, did
Leaf
you
or
really
petal.
actually
It's
just
about
look
the
up?
plant that's called Thea.
Oh my
It can't.
God. Wisp.
She can't have looked up now, Hawk, because then we would have heard typing, angry typing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just thought that like if you'd actually typed up what osmanthus just so that you could say no smudge, you're wrong, it's a herb. I'm like, oh Jesus fucking Christ.
What do I know? I just read the label saying it's a
It's
flower.
very simple. It's very simple.
Oh,
Anything that comes from the plant called Thea is tea. Anything else is an infusion.
oh.
That's it.
All right. Let's keep going.
Wisp, really.
Mm-hmm.
And a big thank
Yes,
you to
Hawk,
you
yes,
all for your time.
yes.
Please
Forever.
enjoy the episode. Chapter 1. The YouTube gods are making me put these chapters into a
What?
Chapter 1. The positives. If I have to, underline have to put myself in either one.
Okay, number one, please stop making these faces. Just
Number
say the
2,
words.
there are no positives in the section.
Yeah, I don't
But
like
no,
it with the hat.
seriously.
The hat is distracting, actually.
Yeah, but also he's doing faces like someone's attached jump leads to his testicles. And
What if they do?
so,
We can't see the.
I'm just saying. It
It's
just
up to imagination.
Just talk normally, like a normal human being.
Well, I like the fact that
No.
he's right against the wall. You can see the pot lights or the whatever lights, the shadows of his skull.
Yeah.
It's great.
But seriously, just why do I don't know why we do this thing, but they have to like over exaggerate their facial movement. It's like watching a bad Jim Carrey impression.
He's Channel
Hey,
Awesome.
Hey, Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
he has more facial. These people that do these facial expressions have more facial expressions than Brie Larson.
Oh, come on! My left testicle's got more facial expressions than Brie Larson. It's not that difficult to do.
That is objectively true because that thing actually moves.
Yeah, and when it's cold, it shrivels as well. She doesn't shrivel and go. So.
And that's when we attach the electrodes.
That's when you attach the jump leads, and I make other faces.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things where I just don't. It's distracting because you don't have to do these faces. I get it that they're trying to over exaggerate, like, oh no, I have to do that, but
here's Taker610. This is a good super chat. I was about to say, he's wearing the Rob Walker's "I'm balding" hat, and the guy has a nice head of hair. You don't need don't need the hat, man. Take the hat off.
No,
really
the
convincing
hat will
way.
actually. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're starting to lose your hair, don't wear a hat because the hat will rub and you'll lose more hair. Seriously.
If you got the hair, loss. if you're on the screen,
flaunt it.
Go with it.
Yeah, flaunt that gorgeous locks. Just
like Tim.
Every so often. Not Tim Pool. Tim Pool.
Yeah, Tim Pool's got his beanie all the time. It's like, oh, he's balding. Fine, it's fine. It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah. Doug Walker's got his hat because he's bald.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but the thing is, like, I've got friends who, for some reason, wore a hat to keep their, because they're balding, and it's like it got worse and worse. He took his hat. He stopped wearing his hat, and his hair actually got stronger and better. Didn't grow back, but it didn't look as bad.
Right.
It's like just take the hat off. Be a man. Embrace it, or just shave your hair off. Just be bald. Just embrace it. It's not that bad. Sure, you look like a penis, but oh well, it's fine.
All right.
In either one of the amps, I'm definitely more in this one than not, but I feel like I have to rein myself in. I'm not going to deny that my feelings toward the show are linked to my past with the anime. Put simply, if I hadn't grown up with Bebop, I would probably not have nearly as strong feelings toward Netflix Bebop as I do. I still wouldn't like it, don't get me wrong, but I definitely wouldn't have shouted "fuck you" at my television like I was Nick Cage in Face Off. And while these are genuine and honest feelings of mine, they're also rooted in fanboyism, which can't help but be colored by possessiveness and entitlement. Yeah,
what?
My memories...
It's not possessiveness and entitlement to
knowledge.
Expect the product to be good.
It's history and experience. I saw the thing 20 years ago. I expect it to be at the same level, not worse.
Yeah. The minute you start fanboyism, it's like...
If anything, the product deserved better.
Way better.
Here's the thing, though. Why is it only like entertainment, where if you're a fan and you want stuff to be better, you get called entitled and possessive and stuff? It's like sports fans, when they demand their team to get better, they don't get called possessive or entitled. It's just seen as a natural thing.
When I order food and it comes out and it's shit, and I call it shit, I don't get called entitled.
Yeah, possessive.
Technically, I am entitled because I bought it, but
yeah.
The question is rather, why is the filmmaking industry 20 years later as shit as it was before, or worse?
I don't know. At least like 20 years ago, at least we'd laugh at Batman and Robin's nipples. I mean, you got that joyous moment. Nowadays, we just get angry and annoyed that things are bad.
I don't know. It's like an objective observation that anyone can make just by comparing like the tone of the first episode of the Netflix series and then compare it to the original. You can see that oh shit, the cartoon is actually like 10-fold more serious than the supposed live action. And it's
Mark,
incredible.
Have you seen the things on YouTube where they put like the Seinfeld?
Amazing.
Yeah, over it.
It feels like it was intended to be a comedy. And it's bad.
Yeah.
Because the original had like comedic tone in some scenes, but it's not made for that.
It's like they wanted to make Cowboy Bebop into Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yes.
No. It's like they actually try and make it like a crappy 90s comedy sitcom because there's pauses for the audience to laugh in. Pretty much, it's like the dialogue has pauses so that a make-believe audience could laugh at it, and it's a bit like, yeah, and I don't know. There's no way a laugh track should fit perfectly into a serious drama.
Yeah, and it is like such a major point because, like in the anime, I never remembered that there were like that long pauses between the conversation. Yeah. Never. Like there were like long silent scenes in the show, but they were purposely that so you can see the environment around you, and it was just wonderful. Like, but when they talked with each other, they never had long pauses at all. And in fact, like they talked like adults.
Yeah,
I fucking miss that in this show.
I kept expecting, like you said, Cowboy Bebop is filmed in front of a live studio audience. You know, with everything, and because there was loads of scenes where I was a bit like, they're waiting for a laugh track. What
I was waiting for.
Find it so funny.
I was waiting for Al Bundy to step in.
Yeah, or some. Do you know what I mean? It just.
Everyone cheers when Faye enters the room. You're like, what?
Yeah. No. Yeah. They boo. No, nobody likes Faye.
Oh. And you're like, oh, great. It's just weird. It's so weird.
All right, let's go.
My feelings, but expecting Netflix to kowtow to my specific criteria of what a live-action Cowboy Bebop should look like, sound like, and feel like is nothing short of delusional. And as such, I feel like it's important to temper these thoughts and feelings, lest I find myself impotently demanding you all sign my change.org petition, damn it!
Leave me alone!
So in that spirit, I feel it's appropriate for me to focus on the positives of the show. Won't take long. I do genuinely like how there is a concentrated effort to capture that retro-futuristic ambience that Cowboy Bebop had. Typing keys are hard plastic, nothing is a touch screen, everything is dirty and...
That's not that fucking Jesus fucking Christ.
Also, I wouldn't call the NetBob retro-futuristic either.
No, but the thing is, well done, they had buttons. Great. Well done, guys.
That's also that's facts.
It's also the better spaceship technology. You don't want touchscreens everywhere on your bloody spaceship. That's dumb.
Yeah, but
on a spaceship, a spaceship is basically a submarine in a negative atmosphere, or well, the lack of an atmosphere.
No,
you want redundant systems that you can mechanically switch on and off. You don't want stupid touch screens everywhere. That if you get salt water on it or anything, it starts acting up and
Wait, Whisp, where do you get salt water in space? Where do you get salt water spilling on stuff in space?
Well, we have one of these emo characters crying on the screen or something.
I remember the argument about Picard, how there was touchscreens everywhere. It was a joke. It looked like they were trying to copy The Expanse, and it just did not look like Star Trek. It looked like something else. So
yeah.
Here's.
But I don't know how I would describe the setting of NetBop, but I don't think I would describe it as retrofuturistic because it doesn't feel like it has a time.
Mm-hmm.
And in a bad way.
The thing is, it's no offense, but when you're doing an anime, you're doing a remake of something. Not a remake, an adaptation. Sorry, of a thing, and it's like, oh, we put buttons in it because the anime had buttons. It's like that's not a positive. You're just doing your fucking job.
Also, the anime had really well thought out most of the ship designs and how the stuff actually worked.
Yeah,
but look, that's how low. That's how low the bar is. For we have to.
Yeah. Okay.
Even he has to look for this low level of stuff, and he says there's not much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will give NetBop one compliment. The cameraman took off the camera lens.
Ooh.
Yes.
People came to shoot a scene maybe.
It's in focus.
The actors showed up.
I'll give.
They paid their workers.
No, I'll give Netflix Bebop one thing. No one was shot on set, so
That's an improvement nowadays. That is
boy.
noteworthy.
All right, let's keep going. Here's Tall Person. Thanks for the 2. Hoy. Can't watch live. I will watch in full later. I look forward to this Smudcast. I recently washed my hands of Bennett and Anime Abandon, and I look forward to your insight. Have a nice day, everyone. Stay safe. Okay, I didn't know you stopped watching this guy. I had no idea he existed, but thank you anyway.
I had no idea he was still alive.
I think I might have seen one of his reviews. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's Great Scott. Another $2. Thank you, sir. Patrolling Netflix's adaptations make you wish for a nuclear winter.
Well, no, not really.
Boy, through the cuts.
I'm perfectly okay with no nuclear winter, thank you. I mean, Netflix Studio had a nuclear winter. That'd be all right, but the rest of us, I'd like to be okay.
Look, all we need is that Western filmmaking completely burns down, and then they have to build up from scratch, and thus are forced to make money. They need to lose everything, and when they have to work from zero, then they might actually have to work for profit, and that would force them to make quality.
Nah, fuck these writers. Like they have absolutely no chance. Like,
but
how many times?
I'm not talking about the writers. These writers aren't capable of doing anything good. They're not capable of good stuff, of quality.
Yes.
What I mean with this, how this would play out, is that the film studios wouldn't hire these people because they don't want to hire people that destroy the products, so they wouldn't make, so that they would lose money. They want to make profit, so they can't hire the people who just make them lose money.
Oh, Whisp, they don't make profit from the programs. They make profit from child slave labor somewhere. Hollywood.
With Jeremy Corbyn, his wife.
Yeah. Jeffrey Epstein and Jeremy Corbyn's wife working together on coffee plantations, and, they don't make money from movies.
All right.
Hang on, sorry, there's someone knocking on my door. It says FBI.
How many Jeremy Corbyns do you need to farm 1 kilogram of coffee?
9 or maybe 11.
Actually, he's created a new political party now. Actually.
Oh, is it the Marxist-Leninist party?
No, it's a socialist Marxist-Leninist party. Wisp, you uncultured swine.
I mean the name.
Yes, that's what it's called.
You're joking.
The Socialist Marxist-Leninist Party of Communist Utopia.
All right.
What? I'm not joking.
That's fine. Just off topic, guys.
Listen, he's not going to bring up communism. We've got to keep the.
Oh, please don't mention it. That's okay. We're fine.
It's the theme of Smudcast.
Yeah, I know, but there's so many more opportunities for people to bring that up. I'm sure it'll come on. Don't worry. We haven't talked about communism yet. Oh, let's talk about it. It's like, no.
No, he's just Hawk. He's just considering to launch a new party.
Anyway.
He's threatening.
Anyway, welcome to the panel. Ron Harushan, how's it going, Ron?
Apologies, technical difficulties, and setup issues.
All right, take your time. Hopefully, you get into the watch together. We get started. So,
I'm good.
You're good. Okay, let's get going.
Sound okay?
You sound fine. You're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
New mic, so I'm still getting used to it.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Warren, it truly looks like how the 90s thought the future would look like, since they had no way of knowing we would all have iPhones, not high-definition Game Boys. It's a real nice change of pace from the typical slick, modern, futurist aesthetic, and it allows the show to look distinctive.
Well, yeah, because that's what we think the future will look like. Now.
When you're on a spaceship, you want more insulation on your stupid iPhone.
Yeah, no.
Probably would look more like a Game Boy.
No, but the thing is, it's like, well, that's what the 90s for, and it's a difference from what we think now. Well,
Yeah.
but
Things would be rugged. They would be durable. So
yeah, everything in the 90s was like really like dystopian.
Yeah, and honestly,
The 90s was really dystopian.
I do not want the future where our spaceships on the inside, on the outside, but also on the inside, all look like Apple products.
Yeah,
I want real spaceships,
Star Trek
not this.
2009.
Ugh.
yeah, remember Star Trek? They had those tiny little black screens that would swivel. And you're like, it's kind of cute. Little laptop.
Yeah. I agree. The modern futures suck because everything just looks too. I feel like I'm going to slip on every floor if I was in the future now. I feel like you have to put like wet floor signs up just because everything's so smooth and shiny.
Well, anime in the 80s and 90s, they had a really nice aesthetic of rugged, like almost like Star Wars-ish. It was always dirty.
It's a used future.
Yeah,
I think that's the term.
It's like this is a practical.
It's all been used. Yeah.
There's a practical tool. It's big. It's hunky. It does the thing it's supposed to do. If you drop it, it's fine. It's not made of glass. It's not made of cheap plastic. You have to buy a protector for. No, it's designed for industrial use. And if you drop it, it's gonna use a club, your phone or whatever.
Yeah,
it felt.
You're on a long voyage. You want shit that lasts.
Yeah.
Not this modern day fashion tech bullshit that if you look at it the wrong way, it breaks.
Yeah. Wes, can you say voice?
You want Nokia phones?
Yes. The what is it? The 6210?
Oh, the
which was
The one you can break someone's head off of?
Sony Ericsson.
The indestructible one.
The candy bar phones. Yeah, they're just amazing.
Yeah. Hawk, you wanted to ask something?
Yeah, just say Voyage again.
Voyage.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Isn't that not an Enya song? There's a certain what's that group, the Russian German chick, she sings in it. Oh,
the German chick that sings in it. Die Happy?
This is in the 90s. This is like a really well-known ambient music group.
Modo 1-2 Polizei.
Probably not.
Rammstein?
SPO Seiki? CK?
They did the Basic Instinct song, I think, one of them. Carly, I think.
Oh, the Basic Instinct song. Okay, no, I've never heard it. No, don't have a quote.
Yeah, 3310.
What is the Basic Instinct?
Enigma. There it is. Enigma. Guys don't know Enigma. Very well-known 90s group.
Hang on, you guys don't know Enigma, a very well-known 90s. People don't know who it is.
I only know The Stand.
Oh. Not quite the same. Anyway, check out Enigma. It's awesome. It's still classic these days.
By the way, look at this frame. Like, all of the frame, every single scene in the Cowboy Bebop Netflix show looks like it has a Dutch angle in it.
Yeah.
And it just annoyed the shit out of me. Like, every single time they have to use Dutch angle. Why?
Don't you know? Because when you do a Dutch angle, you're an artist.
You become Citizen Kane, yeah.
You're immediately an artist if you do a Dutch angle, because that's so different, you know?
Nothing screams more Cowboy Bebop than Orson Welles.
Also,
nothing screams more failed film student than a Dutch angle.
Look at the
and the shaky hand cam.
I have a tripod.
The lighting in this scene
on
is
15-degree
It's
angle.
really boring. Really boring.
It's
so
purple
flat
everywhere. I swear, every scene in the show is either orange or fucking purple.
Because when you think about Cowboy Bebop, like, everything is so stylistic, like pretty. It's like it's gorgeous to look at. This is just.
Also, they're supposed to be outside in this scene. It looks like they're in It looks like they're in a club.
It looks like they're in the studio.
Good that you mentioned that, because this psychedelic lighting with this one specific color, or that it's lighted that one character is in this color, the other character is in the other color. There's also something that edgy film students who think they're the greatest artist ever love to do when they're really just shallow idiots who should just learn something else, like being a cashier in a supermarket.
It honestly looks like they're just shining the light right in the Jet actor's face.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. This looks like it's being made by film students as like a fan film.
Well, I remember the trailer. Was it the trailer for Birds of Prey with Harley Quinn? They said, "Oh, look at the red and the blue. And every color has these scenes at night where the lighting is red or blue or purple." Or like, ooh, it's so
all the colors of the rainbow.
It's so special. It's like, yeah, those are just shades of light. That's not a motif. It's just part of the setting. It's nothing. Oh, her hair is blonde, but it's like, yeah, we get it. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, about the plot.
Anyway,
no, let's talk about the lighting. No, I'm not interested in the lighting. It's about the plot and the rest of it.
All right, let's keep
going. And thanks to Daimon, it was the Nokia 3310. I didn't have one, so I didn't remember the number.
The 310?
Nokia 3310.
3310, the indestructible one.
That's the phone that stopped the bombings before 9/11.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You should have just built the towers out of these phones.
I was referring to the T610 from Sony Ericsson's, a very tiny phone, but holy crap! At the time, it could do just about everything, and it was one of those candy bar phones.
Look, see, Smart, you were completely talking past us. Because the Nokia 3310 is not about all the things that it can do, all its functionalities. It's about it being indestructible. It is. If you make a shirt out of it, it will be stronger than a mithril shirt.
Okay, well, the idea behind a phone is that it's a convergence of technology. So it's like a Swiss Army knife. You want all the stuff in a Swiss Army knife it can do, so you have one tool with you, and that was the idea. At least
that's it. No, Smart. That is a smartphone. What you're talking about?
Yeah, but that's what they had in the Sony Ericsson at the time.
But the Nokia 3310 is the phone that you want to get lost with in buttfuck nowhere.
And it can stop bullets
because it will keep working. You will fall into a volcano. Your phone will survive. It will survive the One Ring.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's for reliability, not for I can play Snake on it. Which you can.
Also, the battery will last until the heat death of the universe.
Yes.
Also, if you ever got lost in the wilderness and like you need to get help, you could kill a bear with it, and like you could use you could use the Nokia as like an axe. Chop some trees down, make a fire. People will find you.
It has function. It is a multi-purpose tool. It is a Swiss Army knife, just not in the way of a regular phone.
I know they made phones with screens that were like made out of the helmets they use for going into space, the same glass. So I don't know if that's the same phone, but
do you remember the 90s where they kept saying phones get smaller and smaller? Do you remember when that used to be a thing? And now it's like the opposite.
Yeah, because the phones got more functionality and we got touchscreens that are easy to produce, that work, multi-touch screens. In the 90s, we couldn't imagine multi-touch screens. It was, whoa, space technology, whoa, sci-fi. Since we have multi-touch bullshit now that is actually accurate, we have need for big screens now.
Well, they say actually that someone put up a, I don't know what it is. It's like a graph, something like the size of phones getting smaller and smaller, and then they put a little thing like the very first time you could get porn on your phone, and then the screens get bigger and big. Screens got bigger. I mean, it's not connected, but.
Yeah, but it's a good job. But it's not wrong either.
Okay. Anyway,
they're making actual touchscreen flip phones now, right?
Oh god, that stuff.
Yeah, they are.
It looks so wrong. It is just no. It scares me.
Well, you talk about that. Samsung. My girlfriend was actually recently in a meeting with Samsung about those flip phones that make touchscreen flip phones. Because the company she works for might be obviously doing the
cutting out a bit
delivery of them to like shops and everything. Am I? Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, can you closer to the mic, maybe?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's keep going.
I want.
But yeah.
Stop talking about phones. Let's go. Come on.
But yeah.
Please.
Just because you didn't get it, Smart.
What?
Yeah, honestly. God, Smart. Smart, just stand over there in the corner. Let the adults talk about phones for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I'm saying.
I want to hear the conclusion of this funny anecdote.
It's not really funny. I'm just saying that talking about flip phones. My girlfriend was in a meeting with Samsung, sorting out that they get doing it this year. So
okay.
All right.
The important thing about all of this is that Nokia is producing phones again because the contract ran out where they agreed to not produce phones for like 10, 15 years, which means, and they want to create not smartphones but dumb phones, which means they will create these indestructible bricks again.
They're already doing that.
Amazing.
All right.
Hi, doggy.
Hi, dog.
Let's go.
Sorry.
Great Scott. All this talk about phones makes me want an iDroid from Phantom Pain. Yeah. Holographic pop-ups. Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's ironic because those new phones from Nokia are going to be the weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
Oh, dear. Thank you, Kojima, for inspiring the next slew of smartphones. Anyway, 5 minutes and a half. Let's go.
Distinctive, even when it does bow to the RGB lighting gods. I also like how there are these quaint little anachronisms, like when Faye reads a Playboy, as if there would still be print magazines 50 years from now.
You know what you need?
Less noise?
The big O.
The cast is also, for the most part, pretty solid.
That was terrible, and she should feel terrible.
No.
No.
Behind me, I'm untouchable.
Keep in mind, for the
No,
most
way
part,
too
it's doing
psycho.
a hell of a lot of load bearing. Mustafa Shakir does a wonderful job as Jet, capturing the grizzled, hard-nosed detective archetype that the character was born from, and he even manages to sound like a spot-on Bo Billingsley in certain scenes. His is the best bit of cast.
I mean, I do think he's the best actor in the show, but I really don't think he did a good job.
That's a good point. People liked his acting, and people say he nailed Jet, but some people are like, well, that's not really how Jet would act.
But from the trio, I would say like he was the better one.
The Jet in Netbop is very pathetic. I really don't know how else to describe him. He's just really pathetic. He's kind of slow. He's kind of dumb. Like in Cowboy Bebop, he was genuinely probably the smartest member of the crew besides Ed. He was the hacker before Edward. If you actually remembers the episodes before Edward, he did all the hacking before she joined the crew.
And he was the only mechanic too.
Yeah, that's another thing that took away from him.
Yeah,
he worked on all of the ships and the Bebop.
Yeah, he was cooking. He was doing mechanics. He was following down leads, getting the information network going. He was doing the hacking,
doing the plumbing.
Yeah, no, he was taking care of everything. So,
also, he was kind of the unofficial leader.
Yeah,
most of the time,
pretty much.
He was a jet of all trades.
Stop.
Now this is my ship. As long as you're on it, we're gonna go after the bounties I say we go after.
This ship is my ship, and this arm is my arm. I don't need instructions.
John Cho, meanwhile, meets the challenge that Spike's character and physicality.
No, he doesn't. Not at all.
So age, height, physique, he's close, but not
nationality. Nothing.
Race,
race, hair color, her length. What else?
Attitude. He's not as free spirited as Spike normally is.
Mm-hmm. He's also way more of a dick. Like the fact that he keeps picking on Jet's arm in most of their fights, it's way shitty. Spike did it once, and it's because he knew it was a way to get Jet to stop talking.
Yeah.
Also pathetic as well, like especially the cathedral scene.
Hey, you tell me what happened to that arm.
Yeah, Jet was grilling him for something that he didn't want to tell him. So he's like, "Tell me what happened to your arm then."
What the hell's going on in the background?
He definitely did his homework and channeled the, for lack of a better term, feel of actor Yusaku Matsuda, the real-life basis for Spike. While it's more than fair to say that Netflix Bebop Spike is not the same as Cowboy Bebop Spike, and we will get to that, those changes are not...
The anime Spike is also not Matsuda.
Yeah.
If you say he's inspired by him, that doesn't make him that.
Yeah,
because Matsuda is also not Jewish.
Nor would you not assume that the live action version should be based on the inspiration of the actual thing you're trying to emulate. It's kind of like saying, hey, Star Trek was inspired by the Westerns, so if we do the Star Trek Next Generation, it should also be a Western. You're like, what? No, you shouldn't do that. That's silly.
Well, to be honest with you, it would have been interesting to see Picard shoot someone in a duel. But yeah, anyhow.
Everyone has guns.
Also, again, Cho is just way too old.
Yeah.
Like, you can really see it in his forehead. There's a lot of creases there.
You can see it in his gut, for God's sake. Let's be honest with you. You don't look at him and go, that's a man in his 20s when you look at it. It's like, no, that's a man in his 40s struggling really badly.
Yeah.
So John Cho's feet. He did a good workmanlike job with what he was given.
Good news. I think you can give Timmy this one.
Oh, wow. That was so
That was the Exorcist giving a sigh.
Yeah, that was literally the most wooden piece of shit I've seen since, like, a spoon that's wooden. Honestly.
That beer looks tacked on.
Where's the joyful nature in his voice? I don't hear it. Like, Spike would just be upbeat when he'd say that.
It would also be more gruff.
Yeah, I think you can give this to, oh my god. We get it, John. Playing Sulu, massive gay, took all your acting ability. It's okay.
Spike is laid back and relaxed, but it's like, okay, how uncouth and how uncaring does he have to be to just crack jokes all the time?
There's laid back, and then there's just not caring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we've lost the difference between laid back and not caring.
Yeah.
I don't think she's gonna notice.
Likewise, Tamara Tooney benefits from an expanded role for her character Anna, previously Annie.
No, don't you call me that. There are only 2 people who can use that name.
Beg your pardon? Anyway, Tamara Tooney is always a welcome sight.
Oh, they made her black too?
Killed time by flipping through Twitter on her phone in line at the DMV.
Yeah.
There she is.
They also made her not fat.
Cheers. Thank you.
They had an opportunity to cast someone fat and didn't use it.
Well, they already played the transgender card. So, yeah.
It's fat phobic.
Also, I don't know how Annie benefits from having her role expanded.
Because she's a woman.
She gets to be sassy. Yeah, she gets to be sassy and black.
Yeah.
Not to mention, she is important in Bebop, even though she doesn't show up that much.
Yeah, no, she's a very, very specific minor role in like episode 20-something, one of the last ones.
It's in Ballad of Fallen Angel. She shows up in Ballad of Fallen Angels, and then she dies in the first part of the last episode. Which
causes Spike to get revenge, and even Julia's like, well, that's not... You're not doing things to run away. You're loading up and locking the shotgun. Are we retreating? No, we're gonna get revenge on Annie. He's like, oh shit, okay.
And I know it's just my theory, but I still kind of think Annie might have originally meant to have been Spike's mom. Her husband looks almost exactly like Spike.
It feels like they were family. Like that's how they grew up around her, obviously. So there's some kinship there.
when you see the picture of her husband, he has green hair, he has a long, narrow face like Spike's, but he doesn't have the curly hair. That's it. So that's why I think it really fits very well.
Oh, well.
There's no mention of any relationship at all. So it's just something that was in the past that was important. That's that.
Mm-hmm. But he's mentioned all these things, and it's but like, well, how have these good performances? And it's like, oh, any opportunity to see this actor, it's like, well, that's not.
Again, I like to point out this is like what we first talked about. This is that subtlety that drew people into Cowboy Bebop that's missing in NetBop.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a general difference between Eastern storytelling and Western storytelling, especially today. I don't think it's been that extreme in the past, but that in Western storytelling, or on screen at least, everything always has to be spelled out for the biggest retard in the audience.
That reminds me.
That's why you can't have subtlety.
Of the quotes they got from fans from Japan. I don't know where they got these quotes. Maybe it was like a message board or something. But one of them was, if only they made this in Japan. It's like, you know what? That probably would have solved not all the problems, but I'd say at least half.
I mean, I've seen a few Japanese productions of anime as live action movies. They don't always work, but
well,
I mean, usually you can tell they love the property.
They really act. They push the acting as far as it can go. The scenes though in Bebop needs to have that Japanese subtle philosophical moments that we don't get at all in Western.
Yeah, when you just rush through with bad jokes, then it's like there's
like the
no
scenes
thing like that.
Like the
SJWs don't understand how to do a slow scene and how to do a silent scene.
Yeah, in the first episode where Spike is working out and fighting, and he's being reminiscent of that girl who blew up, trying to save her, trying to capture the bounty, and he's going back. He's doing his routine again. You know, it's just that moment, and then Jet just tosses him the cigarette through zero gravity, like stuff like that. It's like, that's cool. It's
just in the Western stuff, whether it's the live action stuff or the cartoons, there's something needs to happen all the time and something needs to be said all the time. And even you see this because I watched Castlevania season 4 yesterday, when Lenore dies at the end. Even there, where she walks into the goes onto the balcony to die in the sunrise, they're still talking all the time.
Well, that's a strange.
There's barely a moment of quiet.
The problem with that,
the woman can't even shut the fuck up when she commits suicide.
Well, yeah, but that scene, there was something left unsaid with Lenore and Hector.
Not really. Not really.
There was something.
All she needed to do is say her words, step out, watch the sunrise, and what was it? Hector stands by the door and just watches and sees her fade away. Instead, she talks, and in contrary to all the other fucking vampires that they just get exposed by a little bit of sunlight, they're in agony and then burn up in parts of their bodies. No, she talks until the last split second, and then just poofs.
Yeah, I know.
No pain, no blisters, no anything, just poofs.
Well,
just Thanos poofs even without the "I'm not feeling well."
What she says is, "You are such a foolish man," or something like that. I think that was very indicative of her character, which you wanted her to say before she went outside, to imply that she knows that he loves her, or else he wouldn't care.
Yeah, for example. Yeah. And just have this solemn moment in quiet. But SJWs can never shut the fuck up.
Okay. All right. Let's keep going.
The fact that Adrian Barbeau is in it means I can make this reference.
I'm gonna be an Adrian Barbobot.
And I thought it was pretty funny when an extra walked over and picked up a prop and ran off screen. I guarantee you that wasn't part of the script, because I actually laughed. Okay, I'm grasping at straws at this point. Time to get to Chapter 2. Everything else is crap.
If it is what you say it is, then we make a deal. Then we have cupcakes.
What?
Cupcakes? Yeah. Who don't like cupcakes?
You like hot dogs, right?
Oh my god.
Where do I even begin? Well, I suppose I should start by stating that I am going about the rest of the...
Oh, this is another thing where you can spot this social justice millennial bullshit humor. You will have jokes about cupcakes. They find cupcakes
Why
funny.
cupcakes?
Oh, right, the food humor.
They're just funny to them. Cupcakes are funny and cute, and usually you see the fat, green-haired borderline chicks indulge over cupcakes. That's why they make cupcake jokes. Because somehow cupcakes are cute. I don't know. It's just a thing.
I always get offended by cupcakes. I prefer the actual cakes.
Offended?
Yeah.
Offended by cupcakes. Nobody has an excuse to complain about me being offended by certain things anymore.
Yeah,
Smut is offended by cupcakes.
Like, if you're gonna make cake, you first off should know what you're doing, and you don't need tests. You don't need a series of 16 tests.
You already have muffins.
You need one cake, and you know how to do it. You prep the oven, you do the timing, and you watch it rise, and you're done. You have to okay.
Cupcakes aren't test cakes. They're personal pancakes.
Yeah, but just make a cake. Do the proper job. Don't give me 16 miniatures. I want the full product.
Well, maybe I don't want to eat a whole cake. Maybe I'll just.
It's the same amount.
Then you cut out a piece of the cake.
It's the same amount of cake.
Like adults, you have a cake and then you cut out a piece from the cake and then you eat that piece.
You have a plate. You have a knife and a fork. Maybe you have a condiment. Maybe you have a nice drink. You have a meal. It's a dessert. Cupcake's like, maybe I put it in my hand and walk around with it. It's like, no, that's not a dessert. That's something you give a kid.
That's
to keep him happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but SJWs are children, no matter how old they are.
There you go. Okay.
And that's why cupcakes everywhere, all the time.
This episode on the assumption that you, the audience, have either seen my previous episodes regarding Bebop, of which you can check out with the link in the upper right-hand corner, or you have seen the anime/Netflix show, so I'm going to be diving into heavy spoilers from here on out. Consider yourselves warned. So, while I said that I appreciate the look and the aesthetic of the show, that isn't to say that the show itself looks good. It was a noble attempt to try and recreate the scenery and look at the show as much as they did, but it's plainly obvious that despite the show being as expensive as it was to produce, they cut many a corner. That it had to rely on such below-par CG is understandable, as it is a science fiction show with many a scene happening either in outer space or in some kind of futuristic landscape, even if the scene in question is just the crew of the Bebop talking. And holy hell do they talk.
You know what you can do? You know what you can also do? Use models. Or, and then you need you just do touch-ups with the effects. Or you put more money into the actual acting and writing, and then people are more likely to overlook not amazing special effects if the actual writing and acting is good.
I don't know the scene, but I'm assuming Spike got furious knowing that she stole his ship. Right? That happens in the movie or in the show?
Yes.
I don't think she ever did. I don't remember ever seeing her in the... Well, I don't think the anime. My apologies.
No, I don't think she ever stole his ship.
So she was just flying it in that scene?
I don't remember her stealing his ship in the anime.
No. In the live action, I meant.
No, that's yeah, that. Because they don't even show Faye's ship in the live action show, do they?
Oh, you're kidding?
Wow. Yeah, they did. Faye doesn't have it at the beginning though. Her space mom gives it to her.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh God. Darn it.
Yeah, because they changed the guy who conned her into a woman and made her a mother figure. Even though she still conned her.
Okay. Well, I do know her mother was her teacher in the anime. She was like also a card shark.
No, she didn't. Her mother died like a long time ago.
No. There was another person who's still alive that was.
She has no connections in the future. She got conned by a guy who was based off of George Clooney.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, something Matsumoto.
Makes sense.
Okay. All right.
Because she was from the past, and her family got into an accident. Her family died.
Right.
She was wounded and couldn't be taken care of by the technology at the time, so they froze her.
And then she woke up with a huge debt, and then someone who took care of her also had a debt, and then he ran away with. And
He faked his death.
Yeah, gave the debt to her. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Say I told you so.
I won't, but I did.
Shut up. Shut your ugly old-time ancient ass up.
I was tempted to try and turn that Petey Wheatstraw clip into some kind of counting gag, but they haven't invented a number high enough. Anyway, the poor compositing shots are numerous, blaring, and unmissable. And while I am inclined to give the production some slack for having to do reshoots and work around certain limitations due to factors outside of their control, the end result still looks just a shade over an early 2010 Sci-Fi Channel movie. Toward the end of the series, it even appears as if they were using a completely different camera rig and setup, as it started to look like it was a soap opera, only for it to revert back to normal in the exact same episode. Another particularly egregious example happens in the middle of the season, where Mustafa and John were undoubtedly not on set at the same time. Even the non-special effects shots look cheap and rushed, as if they were literally directing and lighting by numbers. I'm sure somewhere buried in the show's production bible is a memo highlighting Blade Runner 2049 as a visual template.
Where'd you serve? Shoulder of Orion? Ten Houses Gate?
But since nobody can find
Yeah, but Blade Runner 2049 looked good.
Did it?
This does not.
I must admit.
There was more effort put into Blade Runner's visuals for sure. Yeah.
Okay. They had like an overall vision how they want the movie to look like. I don't think they had any of those things. Yeah.
No, it was a lot of green screen, and you could tell even from the trailers there was half the shots were green screen. So
yeah, masking looked really bad. Like they obviously weren't in the same scene.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could argue that they went, Cowboy Bebop's cyberpunk, right? We'll just copy Blade Runner's visual this time.
Sure, yeah, it's the same genre.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
You okay there, Hawk?
Yeah, sorry, I just had a really loud sneeze. I think it nearly blew my head out. Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
Continue. Don't worry about me. Just get my bearings back.
Seems that the directors and gaffers used Battlefield Earth instead. Yeah, guys, I know Dutch angles and RGB lighting can be cool, but must we abuse them to the point of self-parody?
Oh my fucking god, really? They did that fucking gag?
Also, that sound effect they added in was awful.
I don't get a joke.
He struggles to pull the...
He tries to pull it.
He's pulling it out.
He tried to pull it at first and didn't get it, and then he pulled it the second time.
Oh, that one. I thought you were referring to something on this frame.
Yeah? No.
And of course the pipe's smaller than the other one.
Hey, just wanted to quickly pop in and say thank you for watching the video.
Okay, I gotta ask, why does he keep taking his hat off? Like, what's going on? Did he wash it?
These are pre-recorded.
A different recorder segment.
He forgot to change.
Maybe he's just done.
Tomorrow.
He's exhausted.
I'll finish it off. Tomorrow.
Is he gonna chill again?
Also, yeah, I feel like he's gonna chill again. And honestly, no, please stop. he's like saying thank you for getting this far into the video. It's like, bro, we've just been here for 10 minutes. It's not a lot of effort, you know.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. 10 minutes is not that hard.
Want to make a website?
If you come back Thank you for sticking around so long. Have you ever thought about selling drugs on the black market? Just go to www.
Have you ever considered selling drugs to the black? Oh.
Okay.
Just saying.
So far,
Now that you know the
if you're
FBI
liking
isn't
what you're
watching.
seeing, please drop a like and subscribe.
Oh,
if you
this one.
haven't. It really helps me and it helps the channel.
Please help me.
And I also happen to have posters and shirts for sale.
And I have and
Give
I'm
me
shilling.
money!
Money and
Time to
subs.
watch the video. Give me money. Give me your money.
Yeah, it's kind of like subs or the other term.
So I can buy a picture to hang up on my wall behind me.
Yeah, I'm being subservient. It's not just
Yeah.
subscribing. I'm just like, okay, yes, I will do this for you.
Yeah. Please, the bailiffs are knocking on my doors. I need $10 more. So
Why would you do this at the middle of your video, though? Maybe at the end or the start.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the end or start. I've never seen anybody do this kind of thing in the middle of the video.
It's like, hey guys, my mom
does not pay the rent.
Yeah, my mom is in the hospital. Can you please give me some money on my Patreon? I want to take care of my mom.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's possible that maybe he had an ad break here or something. And he just before the ad break.
Maybe. It's possible.
It's okay, Hawk.
It's someone playing with a dog.
Yes, toy.
Just heard
It's
a
a dog
squeaky
toy.
go off.
I think I've been in
Well, I
enough
know it is.
Zoom
I know
calls
it's a dog
the
toy,
last
but-
year that I've seen most things like dogs and kids running around. So it's like, whatever.
That's like, I just heard it. I just couldn't.
That might be from my end.
Is that in the same room?
It was,
Yes.
yeah, it was great.
Maybe not the smartest thing. Do you just have one room?
The kitchen, the family room, the bedroom. It's all together.
Oh, I don't know why, but that noise is just—it's just so funny. I just love it.
I'm in the living room of my apartment.
Yeah. You could
well,
do
tell me
the
the
stream
people-
recording on the toilet, like one of the lawyers on Rekieta stream.
Oh my god.
Why would you? Why?
Technically, the living room is my bedroom right now.
Oh man.
Oh.
Do you want us to make you a Patreon and subscribe to you?
The middle of the stream. Okay, guys, we're setting up a
Yeah.
GoFundMe. Help get
All right,
new.
let's get back to the video. Probably.
All right.
And a Patreon
Yeah.
down in the description if you want to directly support what I do. Thank you so much, and please enjoy the rest of the episode. And on
Yeah,
top
my
of
guess
being
is
a
he had
science
an ad
fiction
break
show,
there, then.
Netflix Bebop is also an action show featuring boring gunfights and sloppy fight scenes. Michael Cattleman and Alex Garcia Lopez's direction feels robotic, as if they elected to choose the quickest and most efficient way of filming these scenes, which feels appropriate given their backgrounds in TV direction, but it doesn't make for engaging entertainment.
Really?
Music doesn't feel right here at all.
This is all made worse by the fact
What the
that
fuck?
the editing feels like it was done in a weekend, or that the editor didn't have B-roll or cover shots they could use to help bridge the scenes together. Check this sequence out. Jet is running after a bounty full bore, and he's about to run into a crowd of children, but just as he's about to deal with this obstacle, the show immediately cuts to Spike finishing a fight. Not continuing a fight, finishing a fight, with an assassin in a completely different room unrelated to what Jet is about to do. And we never cut back to Jet dealing with the children. Methinks there is a deleted or unfinished scene where Jet either runs into the kids or is otherwise stymied, but they just didn't have the time to film it. So all we get is Jet about to bowling ball his way through some kids, and then he's next seen exiting the building. This is called a hanging action, where a character is about to do something but the audience never sees them completing the action or sees the result of it. This is not good editing. Like, imagine if I was trying to build up to a point, but
I hate to break it to you, Jet, but you're the most suspicious looking guy here.
Please. I did a year undercover with IO bootleggers. Let's just say I know how to blend in.
I don't usually make a point to single out costuming or makeup since they're not my forte, comparatively speaking, but if your show erratically swings from, hey, that's a pretty good cosplay,
Hola, amigos, all you bounty hunters out in the system. How you doing?
Hunt and I've got a good one for you today.
to Spirit Halloween Store Reject,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Look, important character.
Problems with this.
He does a pretty good
Kind of
Sephiroth.
forces my hand.
Have you ever seen the actual anime with Vicious? He has no expression. He's never excited aside from when he fights Spike. And that's it. That he's just monotone and has a deep voice. That's it.
Yeah, it's either stone face or psychotic.
Yeah, but this is the problem. SJWs do not understand such characters. They need moving faces and big emotions all the time. Otherwise, because we come back to the emotional immaturity thing, they are unable to understand people when they are not making big emotions.
Well,
this is probably the same reason why Lan in the Wheel of Time maladaptation couldn't be the stoic, stone-faced guy either.
Well, I think the problem with at least Netflix Bebop is that they gave Vicious and Julia, I didn't watch the show, but they gave them all this screen time to flesh out their stories, and you're like, this is not necessary.
There's even a scene when Spike just decides to almost kill Vicious. He's with a sniper rifle, and he threatens him through a phone that hey, I can kill you. And he almost gets the bullet through the fucking bulletproof glass car. And then Vicious is like, oh, God, this is happening to me. And Spike just walks away.
That's another thing about it. Spike actively goes after Vicious here.
Yeah.
In the anime, Vicious is after Spike. Spike almost never, goes out of his way to go after Vicious.
Yeah, except the finale. Mm-hmm. But that is a completely different circumstance as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And Julia was just.
No, was it one time when?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go on, Ro. What were you saying?
Jupiter Jazz. When he was looking for Faye, she went to go see Grin. He ran into. I don't know if he actually meant to run into Vicious there, but that was the other time that he actually met. And if it weren't for a different character, I'm pretty sure Spike would have shot Vicious dead.
Yeah, he meets him during the deal with Gren and Vicious. He attacks Gren, tries to shoot him, and one of the twins blocks the shot.
Yeah. And I think Spike gets hit with a trank dart, something like that.
Yes, he was. He got tranked.
Yeah. With Julia, I was going to say that she's such a non-character. All she has to be is an object of affection that Spike is looking for. That's all it has to be.
Yeah, but Smud, they had to make her the actual true big bad.
Well,
because she
had to fix her character
in Netflix. She has to have more screen time, and she has to be the big bad.
I know.
Would have no doubt been redeemed at some point because women can't be bad.
Well, I was going to make a video about episode 5 and how they screwed up the whole series with that scene at the end of the Netflix where it's the Blood of Fallen Angels scene where he's at the stained glass window. And if you see the anime, Vicious picks up Spike's head and slams it through the glass. Like he is hurling him into the air. With the Netflix version, Julia shoots Spike in the shoulder to the point where the force of the bullet is so hard that this somehow propels Spike backward into
fall backwards out the window and break it.
Like, you ever try to break stained glass that's been ornately pieced together with steel and iron? It's
all the time. All the time, Smud. That's what I do on my weekend.
It's pretty strong. You have to have a lot of force behind you to do that. But he just manages to fall into the glass.
Also, another thing.
Well, yeah.
The actor for Vicious, he cannot pull off Vicious at all.
No, that's not Vicious.
Nothing he tries to say seems intimidating.
I don't know if he can't as an actor.
Oh, no.
But he's definitely instructed.
Yeah, no.
wrong.
I don't think it's the actor's fault because in order to play Vicious, all you have to do is show up. Don't have any acting skills. Just be gruff, be quiet, and look like you don't give a shit. Just go,
Yeah, basically get a male Brie Larson.
Yes, thank you. That's
okay,
it.
so Brie Larson.
He gets a little excited when he wields a sword. That's all. Everything else, monotone.
Mm-hmm.
That's Vicious. He's a mystery. He's scary. He doesn't act much. He has a sword and a crow. For some, I don't know what the crow's about, but he has a crow.
I think the only time he really does any kind of emoting is the one scene, in Battle of the Fallen Angels, when he yells at Spike, "Then why are you still alive?"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it.
And since he's already been brought up, might as well address the performative elephant in the room. Vicious is the worst singular part of an already terrible show.
Part of it.
I can't isolate any one particular aspect of the character.
Did he say Moshi Moshi?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Japanese property. He has to say something Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Moshi Mosh? Yeah, it's Moshi Mosh.
Mushy mushy.
Oh my
Mush
god.
mushy.
God, it's just too weeby for me.
It's kind of like Chow.
It sounded terrible.
You know?
Oh, hoi hoi!
Hoi hoi! Can you have some character behind the acting, sir? Can you have something there?
It's like in the UK when people say, instead of saying hello, they say yellow like that because hello sounds like yellow.
All the time.
You know, it's like yellow. I'm gonna put the phone down. I regret calling you. Anyway,
Let's try that again. Yeah. Let me hang up and call again, and you could answer like a normal person.
Let me call again. Yeah. Yellow. Yeah. Hello. We're here about your unpaid bills. Someone's coming around. Oh.
The actor or the dialogue as what makes Vicious so repellent, because it all melds together into a morass of unwatchable content. Alex Hassel is just hamming it up to the point of absurdity, mincing and mugging his way through scenes that make him look like he's trying to keep himself from throwing up half the time. He's just so distracting with his terrible wig and bug-eyed sneering expressions. Every time he appears on screen, I just want to tune out and do anything else other than bear witness to his preening.
I think it's called overacting.
Proud of you. Well, they disrespected the syndicate.
And there's still time. Search for my body.
I have a feeling that they wanted to turn Vicious into an objectively loathable villain straight from Game of Thrones, since a wife-beating, sadistic, puerile, and insecure man-child is an easy antagonist to hate. But the amount of time he's in these episodes drains at your patience. If he had shown up as frequently as Vicious in the anime did, I would think that the character would have been more tolerable. But he shows up in every episode to do nothing but whine, complain, and exhibit nothing but the most contemptible behavior possible. Yes, as a villain, the audience should want to dislike him, but no character should ever make that same audience want to turn off their TV.
It's not a small ask. She's my wife.
Oh, you brainless fleck of mediocrity. We'll find new Fujis when we bring the business back online. You're in my business, and you had to be dealt with. That's how business works. It's nothing personal.
But while Vicious probably gets it the worst out of any character in the show, maybe second to Julia, who we will also get back to, it's not like he's the only one that suffers, because overall, the writing is terrible. By now, I would think that most of you out there have seen the clips rolling around the internet of the caliber of dialogue we're dealing with.
But Dave, quite therapeutic. And that gentle warm water really eases the stress while washing out the nooks and crannies.
Shut up. Shut your ugly old-time ancient ass up.
But when I say that the writing is terrible, I don't just mean that the dialogue is terrible. Which it is.
There's 1,000 buildings on Venus. Trying to figure out which one this guy's gonna blow up next is like trying to find a needle in a haystack of needles.
Yep. Play the clip.
Shut up.
As dumb and rough as the script is, it's only bullet point 1 on the laundry list of what makes
a needle in a haystack of needles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you could find a needle in a haystack of needles pretty easily. There's like just fucking tons of them. So
whoever wrote that did not think it through, because that joke does not work.
Oh my god!
I don't think they thought
If
any
someone said, so Hawk, to save your family, you must find this needle in a haystack of needles. Oh, this seems pretty easy. There. Yes.
Clearly,
Clearly you are the superior mind.
Clearly, the writer wrote down a needle in a haystack. They're like, no, that's too straightforward a metaphor. It has to be something else.
Has to be something we
Hold on.
In a haystack.
It has to be something more retarded. No. You're not thinking.
Yeah,
I bet you the writer, whoever wrote that, thought it was witty.
Yeah, when you talk about hiding a tree in a forest,
I bet
that's the idea. Not I'm trying to find a certain thing, like a particular needle. If he said a specific needle in a haystack of needles, you'd be like, okay. But if you say
just the needle in a haystack fits perfectly fine.
If you say a piece of hay in a needle stack, that would be okay too. But it would also give the implication that all the houses are horrible to figure out. So if that isn't there, then it's still just a needle in a haystack.
No, Wisp.
If you change this metaphor, you must have reason for it.
Yeah.
This is just
yeah.
It's like that'd be like finding hay in a haystack of hay. It's impossible. It's just. I bet
it's not just not hay.
But I bet you there are high fives in the writing room when someone.
I have no idea what you're saying because you keep cutting out.
I bet there's high fives going, oh yeah, you Slay Queen, you really wrote really dialogue.
All right.
When they wrote that line, I bet you the writers high-fived each other. Okay?
All right, here's Coolman229, thanks for the 5. Oh boy, this show is an absolute disaster. As a fan of Cowboy Bebop, this Netflix version is cancer. Pure, unadulterated cringe. Also, I hit 1K subs. Hey, congrats, man. Good for you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, congrats.
I don't know the standards anymore for getting monetized, but I think you're on the right track. I think it's about 5. Is it 5K subs or 1K subs? I don't know exactly anymore.
1K.
That's 1K.
Like that, you have to get enough views and hours of watch time.
Well, good for you, sir. Keep it up, and you're on the road to earning a few bucks here and there. It's good.
A couple, yeah.
Yeah, good for you. All right, we got 5 minutes left. I like this video. He's doing a good job.
Yep. Yeah, it's doing a very good job. Yeah.
Awful. The plotting and pacing, the way that it handles its own themes and pays homage to the source material, its erratic and not at all natural tonal shifts, all of this is terrible. From the first episode to the last, I was floored by just how utterly broken and scattershot the writing is. Characters will conveniently show up with no narrative reasoning as to how they got to where they are just because the plot needed them to.
Oh, you mean like Wheel of Time?
You're so lucky that I ran into you.
Characters will have sudden shifts in relationships with each other with no real build-up or any kind of interaction that would naturally extend to improving said relationships. Like here, when Jet has to deal with a butthole cop who actually killed a bounty before he could turn them in for a reward.
Come on, this guy wasn't a threat to anybody. You know that. Well, you guys didn't want to pay out the bounty, did you?
Yeah, there's that too.
And he's also stooping his ex-wife while smugly rubbing on his face for that extra layer of super dickery. Only for him to let Jet run and escape the cops when he winds up plugging a dirty cop that could have otherwise cleared his name.
Should take off before those cherries get here.
I'm sorry, but are you on red eye? Or is a wizard making you do this? Still, it's not like he's the only character that suffers from this schizophrenic writing, mostly because he's not the only jerk in the show. Because everyone's a jerk in this show. And when
What's that room? They just have random lights that line up the ceiling and just flicker like that?
Yeah, it was a leftover set from some other show.
I keep wondering about the pile of monitors. Was that a thing in the show anywhere? Because I don't remember it.
There was one episode when they're...
It's in the cult. It's in the cult episode.
Okay.
You actually see one of the 3 old men. You actually see one of them dead near the pile of monitors.
Okay. Otherwise, I would have said it's just more edgy. I'm an artist bullshit.
Yeah.
I say everyone.
Hooray.
I mean everyone! In this show's
Oh,
mind,
Jesus
being a
Christ,
smarmy,
okay.
self-satisfying jerk is a quick way to get a laugh. So the banter is nothing but the characters just slamming each other over and over again to the point that them calling each other out on it can become its own drinking game.
Asshole.
I might have been a bit of a
dick.
You guys are dicks. You okay, dickholes?
Jesus, you're prickly today.
Your boss is a proper prick. Oh, he's not my boss.
It's like they tried to be Guardians of the Galaxy light.
You want to go on a suicide party? You gotta make it.
God, this woman is stiff.
Me too, Nut Nugget.
Oh, what the hell? I don't got that long a lifespan anyway.
Oh, would you look at that? The lead writer of the series is Christopher Yost, who co-wrote 2 Thor movies. Isn't that just a huge...
He co-wrote Thor Ragnarok?
That explains a lot, yeah.
Yeah, but how do you go from Dark World to Thor Ragnarok?
Well, he's just a co-writer.
I'm guessing Taika Waititi probably is more responsible for the style of Ragnarok, and maybe he is responsible for the tone of the writing. I'm not sure.
Well,
the guy made a comedy about Hitler, so
I would assume that he's just the tag along on whom the style has rubbed off, and he believes he can actually pull this off himself when he can't. And even then, he's trying to emulate something that is already shit. And doesn't work. Like this is what I don't understand about Western media. They always try to be something else. Like they want to make a Cowboy Bebop thing to make money off of Cowboy Bebop, but they then think, oh, people really like Guardians of the Galaxy, so we should make Guardians of the Galaxy out of Cowboy Bebop instead of making Cowboy Bebop out of Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
This is retarded.
That sentence made sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Western filmmakers are mentally retarded.
And another
insane
thing is,
and retarded.
Another thing is, you aren't gonna make Guardians of the Galaxy without Edgar Wright's direction. So you're gonna flop it trying to make that anyway, since you don't have the hand that made that.
Yeah, the formula behind a Guardians of the Galaxy comedy is you have a lot of licensed classic music with a fish out of water sort of guy trying to be something he's not, and a bunch of quirky characters.
Funnily enough, Scott Pilgrim, also by Edgar Wright.
Well, yeah, but compare that to Bebop, which is not even it was never even trying to be funny in that capacity.
Yeah.
And then shoving it down every scene with these 3 characters.
Yeah, Bebop jokes are subtle. And for Ragnarok jokes are not subtle. For Ragnarok jokes are Three Stooges cartoon slapstick crap.
Yes.
A lot of the jokes in Cowboy Bebop build character too.
Yeah, and just to be clear about that, I'm not ripping on the Three Stooges here. That is classic slapstick. Slapstick can be funny if you do it right. Tom and Jerry, Roadrunner, all of that. That's slapstick. That's good slapstick. For Ragnarok, isn't.
All right, 3 minutes.
Huge co-winky-dink. It's just so tedious hearing everyone be needlessly combative and obstinate with each other, undercutting the tension of the plot just for the sake of having unfunny, time-wasting dialogue. True, the characters in the anime didn't get along all the time either, and they too could be prickly with each other.
You sing off key.
But they weren't constantly at each other's throats, and they certainly weren't being smug about it either. Here it's just incessant, made all the worse by...
Yeah, he's right about that. Because when you're just like that all the time, the question is, why are you tagging along with each other?
Yeah.
So you obviously can't stand each other.
Yeah, the thing is, I've noticed this as well. It's
maybe this ties to that SJW types tend not to really know how friendships work.
Yeah.
Yes, I was just about to say that it does feel that everything that gets made by these sort of people, it's always the same. No one likes each other. Everyone hates each other, and everyone's snarky and horrible, and would literally betray each other at the drop of a hat.
The minute they could,
and it's like
because all they have is abusive relationships with each other, and they think that is friendship. They think that is normal.
Yeah,
I think
it's like.
Well, the focus of the stories for the character was always we got to get money. Faye liked money; she wanted to pay off her debt, but she liked gambling, so there was a certain energy to her, and she was a bit not a bit obnoxious in the anime here and there. She ate Ain's food, she's sort of weird, bitchy sort of attitude, but they amped it up so far, as I've been told, in the show, it becomes a different character, and same with Spike. Yeah. Well, there are some scenes where she's self-serving and not whiny, but just sort of like, I have to go through this crap sort of scenarios.
But does she suffer the consequences? Like when she ate the last rations or Ain's food, she immediately paid for it later with her stomach and all that mess.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if they actually did that in the actual live-action show.
They focused on.
There's no consequences. There is no consequences for SJWs. That's why they turned into them.
Yeah, they should have.
The biggest asshole move she does is Jupiter Jazz when she steals the ship's the antifreeze in the ship and all the fuel and the money from the safe.
Right.
Oh, Coolman made a great point in the chat. Comedy of Bebop was good because the show was generally pretty serious. So when something silly did happen, it was a levity in a serious show. If you make it silly all the time, it loses its effect. Yeah, that's the case with lots of not so great comedies. Because it's comedies, it gets stale. It's also the problem I had with Thor Ragnarok. Some of those jokes were okay if you take out that it should be a Thor movie, maybe. But the jokes by themselves worked. But then there's so many of them in a staccato, like every 3 seconds there's another joke. Like it tires you out.
Probably one of my favorite jokes from Cowboy Bebop is in the episode where they meet Faye. When Spike and Jet are on the elevator, he points at the no smoking sign and Spike swallows the cigarette. It shows that he has... It's funny, but it also shows that he has that skill where he can swallow something and puke it back up later.
Right, and he does that later. See, that's the great thing. They show that skill, and then later in the episode, they show that skill again with the chip. So, it's like they set it up. It's like it's not just they show scenes for the sake of it. They show that Spike has got some weird street skills that it's like, all right, he knows about his body and this and that. He gets away.
It's kind of similar to the first episode when he steals the hot dog and she lets him have it and he gives her back all the other stuff that he stole.
Yeah, exactly. He's fleet of foot and all that. Yeah.
Made the confusing decision to try and write the show as if it was its own thing and as a direct adaptation of the anime. That Netflix changed the characters to be perpetual smartasses is one thing, but to then have them quote verbatim lines from the anime is an entirely other thing. Suffice it
put into the mouths of the wrong characters.
To change vicious into this.
With my ship, my men can at least track me if you decide you want to eat my testicles for tea.
Then don't write in his quotes from the anime, because, again, they're not the same character anymore, and it's just going to sound completely out of place. Tell me, do you believe, for one moment, that
Oh, I know what went on with his acting. Because Vicious, in the anime, he has these very small psychopath eyes. These very small pupils. So you see a lot of his sclera. That's usually done to show that this character is mean, or is aggressive, or is dangerous, or anything. When you do it in a when it's not when it's not when it's not the general style that everyone has these eyes, like the single dot things. In this case, it implies his his aggression and psychopathy, if you will.
Yeah.
And what I think
like
happened.
A stereotype thing you see in a lot of anime. It actually comes up in rom-com Toradora, where the main character has those eyes, and everyone thinks he's scary, but he's actually a really nice guy.
Yeah. Because sometimes you get mistaken for some trait that you can't do anything about, because those things send messages. Simple as that. What I wanted to get at, is that for the actor, he wanted to get this. You see a lot of his sclera for the psycho eyes around. So he's how do you say this? Aufreißen. He's opening his eyes way too much and does this bulgy, bug-eyed stare all the time, which does look crazy, but it doesn't look like a psychopath.
It makes him look like a cartoon character.
Yeah, it just makes him look silly, crazy, and not scary. Because the Vicious would just have. He wouldn't have his eyes wide open, bulging out. He just stares you down. And if this actor doesn't know how to do that, maybe it was the bad direction.
And again,
if he doesn't know how to look like that, how to stare at someone like that, then he's not a good actor.
Also, the thing about Vicious is, even though he does have that, you can see the sclera at the sides, on top and bottom, he just has a very narrow glare all the time.
Yeah. I remember a scene, there's a funny scene from Get Shorty where John Travolta's trying to teach Danny DeVito how to be a mob guy. And he's doing this scene where he's saying, "Where's my money?" And John Travolta is trying to explain to him, listen, you don't care about this person. You don't care about what the problem is. This is business to you. You're emotionless. And he finally, as 4 takes, he finally gets it. He just says, "Where's my money?" It's the most deadpan, straight-faced look. And it's like, yeah, that's how mob bosses are. They care about the business. They don't care about the emotion. They've done this shit for so long. They've killed people, blah, blah, blah. Life should not bother them very much. So this is the kind of idea. So when you see Vicious, like, yeah, he's a mob boss. He doesn't give a crap.
Yeah, and people are just numbers and cogs in the system that gets him what he wants.
He like killed people by slashing their eyes. He doesn't give a shit where you kill. He just slices them up. It's fun for him.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah. The question is, can you play or can you write a psychopath who is not a sadist?
Also,
because that's the big difference.
Possibly.
In Battle of Fallen Angels, when he kills Mao, he literally puts his corpse into a chair in an opera with blood pouring down from his slit throat for, the trap was for Spike, but Faye is the one who finds it.
And he sits next to him. All right.
Guy who acts like this.
I'll kill that bitch. With kindness.
Is capable or liable to say something enigmatic like this.
The same blood runs through both of us. The blood of a beast who wanders, hunting for the blood of others.
It's like they wrote in these lines because they were afraid that the fans would think that they never saw the series. So they kneecapped their own script for fan service that services no fans.
We know
I don't carry that weight.
Shut up.
Now, it's pretty easy to generalize the entirety of the show as being totally
The tone is
if
completely
you're able to
off.
point to a
Jesus
few lines
Christ.
in there or a single scene that's pretty self-evidently terrible, regardless of context, and just leave it at that.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, God.
Case in point.
Please,
But
no,
when you
stop.
start to realize that you don't have to look hard or for very long at all to cherry pick particular lines of dialogue, that's when you have to wonder if Netflix willfully didn't get the source material. The creative team had certainly seen the series, as they quote the anime a depressing amount of times, and it's not like Netflix doesn't have well-written and directed shows in their library. So why did the series turn out like this? Again, it's easy to fall back onto Hanlon's razor, attributing either malice or stupidity to Netflix's bungled output, but that wouldn't explain them about facing and canceling the series not even a month since its release. even after it was doing relatively well.
No, people would
at
be
least according
stupid enough
their
to
own
gobble it
publicly
up.
released statistics. Well, I believe that there is something far more widespread at work here. Something beyond even just the show and even Netflix. In which we will get into in part 2. And boy, oh boy, will it be a dive. Till next time.
That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, little goofy here and there. Self-promotional material, wanting to sign up and sub and blah blah blah. But yeah,
It seems that we generally kind of agree with him.
Better, saner, and more grounded than Doug Walker.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man! You're better than your teacher.
Yay! You don't suck.
Yeah, this is an achievement today.
All right, let's head on down.
I'm kind of interested now. What he thinks is the reason.
All right, let's check out the stream memes. We got just a few. Here's from Mateus. Live action adaptations are overrated as fuck. Most of them are bad. Yes, this is true. Joe Crazy, stand art snowman at any backyard. What the hell is the Netflix adaptation? Is that dirt?
Yeah, that's an what do you call it? An acre, a farming field.
I guess you can make balls out of dirt. Okay, yeah, I guess that's possible.
maybe it's horse apples.
Mud ball man.
Oh dear. All right.
That is a lot of shit.
Yeah, Novus Kaiser. I prefer the real Cowboy Bebop. I said the real Cowboy Bebop.
God.
Is that from Ninja Turtles?
From Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
That's from Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I was thinking like Brave Star. What is? Oh no, it's actually Bebop. Okay. More Joe Crazy. USA, Pearl Harbor, Japan. Okay. Atomic bombs, USA, Japan. Didn't we do a stupid take on atomic bombs makes you a media superpower or something like that?
We get this meme every time. See, you should have nuked Berlin. Then we could have good German movies, more of them.
So Japan throws anime at USA, and USA throws Netflix adaptations at Japan. No, it doesn't. it
Basically, it does. The Japanese are they are hurting. They try not to look most of the time, though.
America throws Netflix adaptations at America. I don't know about Japan. Japan doesn't care.
And everyone else.
Well, yeah, but Japan just looks at it and goes, nah.
Look. This is a death by 1,000 cuts kind of thing.
Yeah, even the people like Hideo Kojima was like, oh yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid live action next?
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh my god. No.
Didn't they announce one with the guy who played Poe playing Snake?
Oh yeah, they did. Oh my god, you're right. I forgot about that. Oh my god, it's happening.
What?
You're right.
Wait, what?
Oh god, no.
Wait,
which one?
Wait, what?
Oscar Isaac, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
Oh god, not that asshole.
Oh, that's official. Yes. Oh my god.
What? He looks nothing like Snake.
Oh.
He's not green or reptilian at all.
This is why we haven't heard anything, because they're working on it.
Oh, no.
The big boss was Puerto Rican, you know.
Kojima, what you doing? What you doing?
Buongiorno, Spike.
Hey, listen.
Why do you hate your legacy?
Why do...
I honestly don't even know who I would pick in modern Hollywood to be a Snake, to be honest.
How about not anyone? How about no?
Yeah, how about not?
How about no? How about just one big massive no?
All right, so here's someone superimposed or faded out Dragon Ball.
A small cat.
With
I don't know
the
what's
faded
going on.
out. The faded out one is the light screen from Death Note.
I don't know what's going on.
When Ryuk is fucking with
I don't know what's going on.
Office.
If the box says T, it's T. Thank you, Meme.
Yeah.
Very good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I can feel sounds, bro. Okay. I can barely read this font. The thing
The thing that will destroy Soviets.
The Soviets.
Yeah.
The ultimate
weapon.
Oh, Nokia. Okay.
That is the phone we're talking about. The indestructible.
I assume that's the Finnish flag. I assume that's
what's up with the head there? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Poland ball with that's the Finland ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nokia is a Finnish company.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's
Just thought it
Matthias.
was a Finnish
Matthias
company.
has weird
Also, the Finnish fucking hate the Russians.
The Finnish want to finish the Russians.
They also hate the Swedes.
I don't think this is an accurate depiction of Channel Awesome.
For good reasons.
I would put Doug Walker inside the tornado.
Who's watching the tornado then?
Everyone else.
Probably it's just like Smudcast. Just go, oh my god.
Yeah, we're watching the Channel Awesome, and like Doug Walker's like a tiny little person, little speck in the tornado. There we go. That's enough.
Spike Spiegel! I have a bounty for you. Oh god.
I really fucking hate how people say this is an accurate portrayal of the anime. Anime Ed.
Well, the actress is 24 years old. Okay, obviously she looks like.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she is.
She's not. No, she's not. I refuse to believe that.
It's just horrible.
Holy fuck.
It is disturbing. It's horrible.
I thought she was like 16 or something.
No.
The speech is disgusting. Just don't.
Well, Ed in the anime.
Also, she's overacting hard.
Yeah, Ed in the anime is like 8 or 12 around there. That age range. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
I thought 8 or 10.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
I would say that Ed's energy level is like an 8.5, and this actress is going for like a 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like,
SJW fun energy.
As hyper as some people kind of pretend
it's
he
like,
was.
hyper. Yeah, that's the thing that I was trying to think of. Everything feels like hyper.
It's
hyperactive.
You know that thing that people do to try to sound like a kid? They go, they bring their voice really down and they gutter. They just scream.
I think all children are unbearable brats.
Kids don't do
When
that.
do kids have guttural growls like Batman? I'm 4 this year. What's Santa buying me for Christmas? It's like, okay, how many? What do all kids in Canada drink like 600 pints of whiskey?
All it takes is one, honestly.
You see, puberty hit little Timmy early this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can keep watching this. This is amazing.
Honestly. Yeah, nope, no way, no.
Also, in the anime, Ed's hair is like basically the same as Spike's kind of looking.
Yeah.
You can just make it messy.
It's just messy red hair. It's not a clown's wig.
Yeah. That's
like
what
Pippi
I was about to say,
Longstocking got
wig.
electrocuted or something. It's like, what are you doing?
It just looks horrible. The thing in the live action thing is like atrocious, artificial nonsense.
It looks kind of weird.
Yeah, if you just
Ed in the anime, it just has red hair.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, that picture of Ed from the live action looks exactly like I do when I have my nuts attached to jump leads.
I've seen so many people
but
compare it to like the old like 90s commercials for like game product.
This picture and this scene of the live action Ed is what I mean with this is just all Thundercats.
Well, the thing is, I don't
this
like
CW CalArts Thundercats.
I don't recall her ever having goggles that were like TVs. I don't think that was a thing.
Yeah, she has goggles. She uses them with her computer.
Did they look like that?
No.
Do they have their own computers?
No, and they didn't make her look like an insane clown bug.
I know she has goggles, but they didn't look like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's my This is my favorite meme of the day, and really, I mean, if you're going to throw a party, you're going to have a real cake. That's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
None of this fancy schmancy.
Who gets married to cupcakes?
Well, I've seen cakes and cupcakes because there's kids at weddings, so they think of the kids. But honestly, I want a real.
Why? Why would you bring kids to weddings?
The family. You gotta do shit for your family. It's normal.
I hate these. I hate these paper things around the cupcakes. Why?
I can understand when the cupcake is trying to be a cake, so they put this huge dollop of sour cream, whip, whatever. I understand that. I still don't think it's the best way to go. They're trying to make the thing more savory or more sweet or whatever the cream is. But honestly, guys, if you get a good custard, you don't need any cream. You're good to go. And none of that fondant shit, that's just horrible. That's just sugar and water.
Fondant.
Fondant, yeah.
Fondant.
Yeah.
That's not how it's been. Okay, anyway.
And Karabe197 in the chat asks me, do Germans hate Finns too, Wisp? We helped you during World War II. Does that not mean anything? Germans do not hate Finns. I think most are indifferent and have forgotten Finland exists. I have a couple of friends in Finland, and the reason why you worked so well in World War II against the Soviets was because the Finnish military got Boy Scout instructions from the Germans, because we weren't allowed to give you military training, so you got Boy Scout training instead, and that's why the Finnish military ended up with all this guerrilla shit with talking forests and stalking snow, killing like 100 Soviets per Finnish soldier. Like, great. Good stuff.
To be honest with you, if you say to a German, what do you think of Finland? They'll probably respond, that's a weird way to refer to northern Germany.
I posted some pics of Ed's goggles from the anime in the chat.
Yeah. I would suggest to the Finnish people, however, to get rid of their socialists, because they're currently ruling the country.
Okay. There we go.
All right. We're good. We're good. Thank you. Talking about socialism, here's a great meme of someone wanting money. Okay.
See, everything flows into the next thing.
Oh wow! Look at this. Look at that amazing birthday cake. That looks like a basket of delicious flowers that you can eat.
And then look at that fucking cupcake, man.
Yeah.
God, it looks like someone just like, ugh.
I'm not sure what that is. Yeah. Is that confetti or is that cream?
No, that is
that
looks like snot.
On it.
It looks like egg snot.
It's buttercream. That's what it is.
All right.
Ugh.
You say buttercream tastes nice.
You're British. You don't have taste.
You're German. Shut the fuck up. Why even? What? No. I'm not having this. No. No. Into your hole. Back. No. Oh, God.
August so upset his microphone is dying.
Yeah, I've got like 5% battery on my headset.
Okay.
Sorry.
So this is the scene.
I do apologize.
From El Dorado, I think. And yeah, okay.
No, Rapunzel. Jesus fucking Christ.
Is that Rapunzel?
Rapunzel.
El Dorado was a 2D movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. It is 3D. Netflix Vicious. Oh dear.
Basically,
good meme today.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Crazy, the anime, the manga, the Netflix.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
And just like that, now we got struck.
That's what's his name? Who said being a cuckold is good? Something.
Oh,
Jack Murphy.
Yeah. It's perfectly fine to have like your wife have sex with men while you watch. No, is it? Okay then.
Oh.
All right.
He was just a fraud. He was just a fraud.
Welcome to the Ouch, and there's a scene of Spike pointing at
shooting Faye.
The good ending.
The good ending. They have to unlock it after watching none of it. And
did they get the proper EMS score?
Yeah, no, you have to change your IP. You have to download NordVPN and change your IP
while eating those Japanese cookies.
Yeah, and change your
Straight
IP
from Japan.
Change your IP to Japan. There you go.
You've got to get a bukkake or whatever that thing was.
Cocky.
From the Third Channel, awesome movie. What the hell is?
I remember this. Yeah.
What is that?
That would
It's supposed to be
genuinely
Ed.
a better Ed.
That's
than what
Ed?
they have
Was
in
it to boldly
that
flee?
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
it's a boldly flee. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was like 3 hours
Someone
long.
dresses up as. Yeah. To boldly flee, someone dresses up as Ed, and yeah, it was actually better than what we got in the live action. I'll give it that.
So here's Ed.
To be fair, that's not that hard though.
So is that?
Again, I'm not saying it.
Is that an actual translucent goggles or that reflection of the screen? Like what's going on there with Ed?
I think they actually do display. I think they're plugged into the computer and they display what's on the computer.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
That's also why they glow in that other scene.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't see from the outside what's on it, do you?
I'd have to watch it. Yeah.
Oh, thanks for that.
Anyway, good to know. Always cool to watch some or to know about some lore from Bebop. There's a lot of it. I just don't pay attention. It's been a while.
They're never really explained or showed that well. So
Yeah, good point. Alrighty, we have some super chats. I didn't even realize that. Sorry about that, guys. Cool man 229. Thanks for the 2. Larry Bundy Jr. would be watching the tornado. And here's Adam Woodford. That was Chernobyl blowing up, not a tornado. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, and we're dealing with fallout. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. That makes a lot of sense.
But Chernobyl was pretty much like a Soviet tornado anyway.
Good point.
Chernobyl never happened.
What? No. It was an attempt. It was an early attempt at a weather control system.
It wasn't real communism.
It wasn't a real nuclear fusion reactor.
Yes.
It wasn't real nuclear fallout.
Hasn't been tried.
Oh dear, man.
It's just an
The whole
awful
thing's
model.
terrible.
Anyway, that was kind of fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Good points. Good
There's part 2 as well.
Is it part 2 about Bebop or is it something else?
It's still about Bebop, I thought, because that's what you said to get onto.
What
I thought it was going to be about Netflix adaptations, not Bebop specific. I'll go check the channel to make sure. But anyway, that was great. It's always nice to get a positive video or a video that's not stupid, that we can say, hey, good points. And we have our own points to make. And we all had a good time. And fun times all around. Yeah. So
maybe in a couple of months we get part 2.
If we're lucky. Because I know you guys throw crap at us all the time, so we got to probably do that. There's no fun to be had on Smudcast.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you, Rome, for popping in.
Nice video, but God, that was terrible.
Yeah, no. I'll eventually watch it. I just don't know when in my lifetime. And if I die early, no loss.
Thank God.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you know what? If I die, I'll never have to watch that. Yeah, you're right. That's a good. Oh, geez, what the hell am I contemplating? Anyway.
Yeah.
I see that as a win.
Yeah.
Smart. There's no amount of money that's worth to watch it. Like LD did it. You don't have to.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah. He sounded broken inside after he watched through all of it.
I know he said he wanted to watch it.
Seems like if you're willing to put aside how much it hurts to have a bad Bebop show, if you get drunk with your friends, it might be fun.
I thought about that, but I was like, you know what?
I tried it.
My soul would be another issue. My stomach and my laughter would be one thing.
These are scars that never fully heal.
Yeah, you'd have that weird bad taste of, I love Bebop, but then you think, wait, Bebop, oh no.
Every time you will then watch the original, you will remember that this shit exists.
Yeah, it's like
emotional crit.
It's like looking at Morrigan in Dragon Age Inquisition. You're like, oh, it's Morrigan. And you're like, oh, it's Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh no, no! Please don't remind me.
Yeah,
what they did to her.
That kind of memory.
What they did to my girl. Ugh.
My poor baby. Oh, my poor boy. Anyway,
Anyway, let's move on.
Thank you guys. That was fun. Keep them coming as always. That was a Weeb Day. Finally, we got an on-time Weeb Day. Well, almost on time. I was a little late. Do apologize for that.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah. But good night. Go to bed. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.